What's up, guys? Bullfire the Fail-Handed here, bringing you the art of the Panzer 5-4 Ram Panzer, Part 3. Here we are on Dragon Ridge. The greens have spawned on the northern side. The reds have spawned on the southern side. I find myself this go with a full platoon. We are going to try to see what we can do with this game here. Typically, in a medium, I like to run the right flank, although this tank typically more or less acts like a fast heavy. At any rate, we're going to go ahead and try to give it a shot. We are pushing the right flank here. You know, and this is one of those games where we are low tier and not necessarily a high tier lobby. We're not in 7s, but we're festooned with 6s. So this is to kind of give you an idea what options you have, how you need to do business if you're low tier, which we are. We're not, you know, in a super high lobby. You know, we're not going to face Tigers and T-29s, but it's still going to be pretty bad. So, you know, we're running up the A line here, excuse me, the 1 line. And the idea here is to get on the other side. Typically, guys end up leaving this flank unprotected. I'm not really sure why this would be a priority with me if I, you know, was in a scrim perhaps. But, you know, people leave it unprotected, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to defeat anything they have up here, run through to the other side, and kind of post up and take shots from behind in their, you know, their kind of spawn area. Which, it's always good. You know, you're just chilling, shooting at somebody, and all of a sudden you take a round, and you're like, that came from my spawn! Yeah, so... Anyway, we're slowing down here. We've got some shots. We're going to go ahead and try to see if we can't take some shots of opportunity here. You know, we're doing kind of well. We're putting a couple rounds down range. And this is one of those situations where the poor guy has no idea where he's getting shot from. He's like, you know, saying, oh, it's saying it's coming from behind me to the left. Yeah, well, you know, platoon there pulled down 2 kills at the same time. You can't ever beat that. And, you know, right now, I'm just trying to angle up, get the machine facing towards the right direction, so we can properly tank here, so we can properly do some business, rocking back and forth here, side scraping a bit. Not 100% sure if the front of my armor here is covered, but most assuredly from the angle I am, which, you know, myself being lower than he is, you know, if he would fire at my lower plate, there's a good chance it would bounce because of the steeper angle. So you have to take a lot of angles into effect there, in you know, when you make your decision. The side of this tank does not have amazing armor. You will notice if you over angle, people will pin you in the front side of it all the time. That's just the nature of the beast. You have to be careful of that. There's not a lot you can do about it except just be aware of it and try to take action on it. So here we are. We're taking more shots here on guys, you know, pushing this primary front. And, you know, you're going to get a lot of shots on guys like that. The only downside is, you know, they're moving behind one of those destructible houses or whatnot. You know, there's not a lot you can do about that except burn the house down. Ended up catching a guy there on fire. Put a round behind that one. Guys, you always want to have a fire extinguisher. You always want to have an auto fire extinguisher if I have anything to do with it. You know, catching on fire should not be an issue in this game. Now, if you get caught on fire twice, maybe you were just meant to die. That's something you've got to understand. We've all been in there where, you know, you're in battle and you get hit and your auto goes off, and then, you know, 2 minutes later you get hit again, you get caught on fire. Well, you know, that's Wargaming's way of saying you probably needed to die by fire. You know, and it's going to happen. You know, these things happen to all of us, you know. And that's, you know, that's the reason that I'm doing this art of here, is to kind of show people that what you think only happens to you happens to everybody. You know, everybody out there has days where they lose their tank mojo, where they don't do anything, you know, nothing they do is right. It happens to all of us, okay? Not just you. You know, there are times where we go out there and, you know, we all get one-shotted by artillery. That happens to all of us. You know, there's days where you go out there and just everything pins you. It happens. It's just the nature of the beast. if you like this game and you play this game, you're going to see a lot of different things on it. You know, you just kind of have to deal with it. You know, different things are going to happen. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And you know, you just have to be aware that you are not alone when these things happen. And you know, just kind of wanted to tell people, because I know some people lose hope. They've been one-shotted by artillery so many times. Their teammates have screwed them over so many times, and I just want to get the word out there. You're not alone. This happens to all of us, all the time. Just with the same frequency it happens to you, it happens to the rest of us. So right now, you know, we're 4v4. We're going to see if we can't take command of this situation here. We have... They're on our cap. That's the downside. They're on our cap. Of course, we're on their cap. Not a lot of reason to take off here because, you know, if we take off, you can't cover that many meters in that short amount of time. So, you know, sadly, it's kind of like a cap war. We're both farming loser points here. That's all it boils down to. We're farming loser points. It's whoever can outcap whoever else. And, you know, I've noticed that trend here lately. A lot of guys, you know, they get in there and you're doing well, and it's, you know, 10 versus 5, and your team starts capping, and you're like, what are you doing? You know, and in this case, you know, I was trying to get this guy back here because we are indeed having a cap war. You had one of their guys pull off, and then he pulled back on. And, you know, these cap wars can be very one-sided because, you know, the numbers will count off the faster, you know, fast depending on how close your enemy is. So I've seen them go pretty fast, so it's a very easy way to lose the game, if you will. Guys, thank you for watching the Art of the Panzer 5.4 Ram Panzer Part 3. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.